Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims. There are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him.
That's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill. Like, you're just a little bit too intense. You know, you gotta relax. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't saying anything.
Tomorrow in the sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy trial against hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Y'all, imagine being 13 years old, standing in a studio next to your idol, thinking you're living the dream, only to realize you're actually walking into a nightmare. Because that's what Justin Bieber just hinted at. And it's not just about his trauma. Nope. He's pointing fingers at what he saw happen to Usher. And baby, it's dark. Like, career-ending dark. You thought the Diddy headlines were already wild? Oh, honey, buckle up. Because when Justin Bieber breaks his silence about what really went down behind those studio doors, it's not just some music industry gossip, it's a whole reckoning. And the way Usher's name keeps coming up in all of this, chilly, let's just say, we might be looking at one of the most overlooked victims in the entire Diddy empire. So, let's rewind. Back in the 90s, a baby-faced Usher was signed at just 14 years old. And instead of getting a manager or vocal coach like any normal artist development situation, the industry decided, you know what?
Justin Bieber got by Diddy.
It's not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy anymore. It is not our fault that Usher didn't want to get fucked by Diddy no more.
Let's just ship him off to live with Diddy. Yes, live with Diddy. They called it Flavor Camp, which sounds like a bad reality show, but it was very much real. And according to Usher himself, it was anything but normal.
About who I would be. I was 13 years old. And being 13, having that type of exposure, you know, yeah, it was cool to go to Howard Homecoming with Puff. It was great to be able to go to Club USA or the Supper Club, you know, with Puffy in that time, or the Tunnel. These are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be.
He later said in interviews that he was exposed to things no 13-year-old should ever see. Things that he couldn't even fully understand at the time. Like walking into rooms where grown adults were, well, doing grown adult things, while he's still out here worrying about algebra homework. And y'all, this wasn't just one offhand comment. Usher's literally said he wouldn't let his own son ever go through what he went through at Flavor Camp. He called it wild, unsettling, and said flat out, hell no, when asked if he'd send his kid there. That's not shade, that's a confession in disguise. And now, with everything going down in Diddy's trial, from the sex trafficking charges to the freak-offs, yes, that's what they were called, people are starting to look at Usher's past with a whole new lens. This wasn't mentorship. This was a system, a machine, a pattern. Now enter Justin Bieber. At 13, he was just like Usher, young, talented, and wide-eyed. And who helped bring him into the industry? Yep, Usher. And who was still hovering in the background? You guessed it, Diddy. According to recent interviews, Justin wasn't just around these men. He was watching, observing, absorbing, and now he's opening up about what he saw. And it's chilling. He said Usher wasn't just being mentored, he was being controlled, emotionally, artistically, mentally, pushed to the brink in the studio by both Diddy and Clive Davis. Like, not just work hard, play hard vibes, we're talking full-on manipulation.
Feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Justin described watching Usher fight to be taken seriously, to maintain his sanity, to protect his art. And when you hear Justin talk about how he was mistreated and then say, but what Usher went through, that was worse? That's when you realize, girl, something serious went down. And honestly, it tracks. Because Justin has had his own struggles with the industry, the pressure, the weird mentorship dynamics. So when he starts pulling the curtain back and dragging Usher's name into it, you know it's time to pay attention. Let's talk about the receipts because, baby, they are plentiful. Old interviews with Usher that once seemed quirky suddenly read like distress calls. In a 2004 Rolling Stone piece, he casually described opening doors at Diddy's house to find people having, well, let's call it unsupervised extracurricular activities. Back then, we laughed it off. Low-wall celebrities are crazy. But now we realize a 14-year-old was being exposed to a whole adult world with zero boundaries. Like, why was he even there? Then there's the Essence interview. Usher looked visibly uncomfortable when asked about Diddy, said he'd save it for my book one day, but he also dropped a line that still haunts fans. There was a lot of what, Usher? Say it! Even crazier, right when the Diddy lawsuit started making headlines, guess who wiped his entire Twitter X account clean? Usher.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So
it was
nobody
crazy.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I ain't
and
say that.
Okay.
Every single tweet gone. He claimed he was hacked, but come on, the timing, suspicious AF. If you ask me, it looked a lot like someone trying to erase digital traces before they come back to haunt him. Y'all, if things weren't messy enough, Suge Knight had to come in with a gasoline can. In a prison interview uploaded in late 2024, Suge made serious claims. Like, he straight up said people told him to keep his crew away from Usher because Diddy had a thing for him.
Doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. Only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done.
Allegedly, and that ain't even the wildest part. According to Suge, Diddy and Usher shared a bed, as in, not just crash on the couch sleepover energy. A grown man and a teenage boy sleeping in the same bed. Excuse me? He even said when he first tried to look out for Usher, someone told him, don't do nothing to him. Puffy got a thing. Y'all. What in the actual? And Suge didn't stop there. He accused Usher of enabling the same environment for Justin Bieber by bringing him into Diddy's circle. Basically, he's saying Usher should have known better after what he went through. Now, whether or not you believe everything Suge says, we know he's not afraid to talk. And when his words start matching up with Cassie's lawsuit, Justin's revelations, and years of whispered rumors, you can't ignore the pattern. So here's the thing. Diddy is now facing multiple lawsuits, federal investigations, and his own inner circle flipping on him faster than a tabloid turns pages. The stories of the freak-offs, the recordings, the coercion, it's all coming out. And in the middle of this storm are two of the biggest pop stars of our generation, Justin Bieber and Usher. Justin's finally saying the quiet part out loud, that this industry isn't just messy, it's dangerous. And Usher? He's still silent, but not in the nothing happened kind of way. It's the I'm not ready to speak yet kind of silence. And when you've got people like Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, corroborating everything in Cassie's lawsuit, it's not just gossip anymore, it's evidence. So now we wait. Will Usher ever tell the full truth? Will Justin continue to speak out? And how many more are still hiding their stories, scared of the backlash? What's clear is this. The music industry's dirty secrets are no longer staying hidden. And the reckoning? Oh, honey, it's just getting started. Whew! This was a lot to unpack. What do y'all think? Is Usher finally gonna spill the tea? Do you believe Justin's version of events? And is Diddy's entire empire about to crumble? Drop your thoughts below, because I'm reading everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the next episode. Because baby, the tea is boiling, and I'm pouring it hot every single time. Stay shady, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.